right, we're back with part 2.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm D,
This is Lynn.
and Lynn's drinking his nut water.
That coconut is not a nut, is it?
There's nut in the name, so you're drinking nut water.
Okay, I guess. If you want to put it like that.
All right, if you haven't already checked out, check out part 1, because that got kind of deep and insightful. I loved it.
Playing catch up.
Part 2, much simpler because we went on a fragging Father's Day hike.
Man, that hike was so much fun.
Amazeballs.
I want to. We hadn't done. I'm trying to get my brain to process out. We haven't had a good solid hike since Father's Day last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it always becomes across the same thing of. I was talking to a few people about this not too long ago. We spend so much time working.
Yes.
D was able to get out of the workforce for a good period, temporarily, but still a good period of time. Period of time to be able to reflect and kind of like reestablish things and put his mental health into a better aspect. Me, so being in the workforce and a majority of the rest of us being stuck in the form of the Matrix at that point, it's, you notice a lot of times you spend all of your energy into work that when you're done with work, you have no time to work on yourself.
Yes.
I was talking to my buddy Chris, who normally comes with us on these hikes.
Yeah.
And it reminded me how everybody is programmed to think the same way. And it's not a bad thing. It's not. I love Chris to death. It's never a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to the girl about this and other people as well. Is that we get in this mindset of grind, work, nonstop. And I've learned through D and through others that you will have life pass you by when all you're focusing on is working. If something comes up and someone says, hey, this is going to happen, no matter how tired I am, how exhausted I am, how much I don't want to go, I make myself go. I make myself go. Because I think to myself, and I was telling my buddy Chris about this because he's quitting his job and he's been with that company. I hit my 8-year anniversary on the 11th, which is the long shot I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Chris was on his like 10 to 12th year, which is pretty high and pretty high ranked up there.
Time.
But it's the same thing. You're in a corporation that's run by people that make more money than you and people that think that they're smarter than you. So because of that, they treat you like shit. So he's willing to downgrade into like some bullshit warehouse job just to get the fuck out of there.
Yes.
He had already put his 2 weeks in. This hike we'd known for a minute.
Yeah.
And I mentioned about going, and he's like, well, bro, I work 4 a.m. to 12 Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, I threw this at him. I was like, well, let me ask you this. A year from now, around the same time, I'm going to ask you, what were you doing on Father's Day?
Right.
And 2 things are going to pop up. Either A, got to go on a super fucking fun hike that I'm remembering even a year from now, got to see beautiful views, be around good company, have a worthwhile beer and a brie and watermelon and just like food that you know you worked your ass off to get for a gorgeous view that you'll probably not see again for a very, very long time.
Yes.
Or B, I went to work that day. I went to work that day. And what did you do at work that day? I don't remember. It was a year from now. I can't remember a year from now what I'm doing. Well, I will for this episode, obviously, because it's time-stamped. Yeah. My point being is that work becomes so mundane that it has no value other than paying your bills. So when actual events and things that are going to happen, is the reason why I love that D has the same aspect of mind of that if something big comes up, he will, no matter what, move mountains to make sure that he can go do it. Yes. Because you want to remember the joys of things that you did with your life, not, oh, I lived my whole life just to work. Just working. And I have nothing to show for it.
Yes. Yes. And that's exactly how I felt when you were like, Notch wants to go for a hike. Fuck everything.
Yes, fuck everything. Fuck everything else. I don't care. Fuck everything else.
We have never once had a bad hike. We've never actually canceled a hike. Every hike we've gone on, however long or short, has been so fucking worth it just because it gets you out of this concrete jungle that we're in, this bird cage where all we do is see asphalt, sidewalk, bums, work, home, and then we do everything in this like annoying almost like dreadful cycle.
It's a dreadful, where it's like exhausting
every day
cycle.
You wake up, you're more tired than you were yesterday. Your job is more stressful than it was yesterday. And it's like, yo, I'm not going to let the machine chew me up and spit me out. Have I been there? Yes. Am I going back there? You're damn right I am, because I got to make just a little bit extra money. However, being off for those, I think I was out of work for like 5 months. I was able to take off. It made me remember, I'm getting older. Mm-hmm. Every time I look in the mirror, I have another gray fucking hair on my face.
Yep, I'm getting it. Same thing.
And at the same time, it's like life is too precious. You know what I mean? Me and Lynn have grown up together since we were fucking barely teenagers. Mm-hmm. I've known Notch, your mom, and your brother my entire life. Mm-hmm. Every time we go out, though, it's like I have to reflect. I'm like, damn, Notch is just a little bit older than he was the last time I saw him.
It scares
my parents.
The
I'm like,
shit
they're just
out
a
of me,
little
man.
bit older.
It terrifies me.
And I'm like, I don't want to. When they do pass on, I don't want to be like, damn, I wish I would have spent more time with them. I want to be like, dude, we went on all the greatest fucking hikes.
You want to remember all those things.
We got that shit on video. Mm-hmm. You remember the best moments about this person and like these beautiful sceneries that we got to see. And it's just shit like that. Like when Noah gets older, when he has kids, when his kids look back and they see these videos and they hear our podcast, my little man, future generations, it's like, yo, I didn't just sit here suffering all the fucking time.
Right.
I didn't just sit here being like, woe is me, woe is me. It's like, yo, we went on a fucking great hike, saw snow,
yeah,
which you would have thought was a fucking foreign item that fell out of the sky like Tears of the Kingdom.
So not even the snow, man. I looked up what the hike was.
Where did we go? Because I don't remember.
I got the name for it. It was called, give me 1 second. It was called Cathedral Rock Trail. So I looked up, and I didn't look it up until after we had gone. Now, mind you, to fill in for this whole thing.
Yes, please.
Again, I am an advocate of no matter what the fuck is going on, no matter how tired I am, no matter how stressful shit is, if something comes up of interest, I don't want to be like, oh, no, I can't do this because of whatever, because I'm tired, because of work, whatever. I will make a way to figure the shit out. I will move things around. I went up to this original hike. We were just supposed to go up to Mount Charleston. My dad and my brother wanted to go to Mary Jane Falls. And there's a lot of switchbacks. It goes back and forth to go up to the peak of the mountain. Mary Jane Falls is about 7,000 feet above sea level, so it's fucking hard. It's a waterfall at the end, but I told them, I was like, look, I'm barely a week out of surgery. 1 week. Mom's still in a fucking sling. I still can't move very well. Can we just kind of baby myself? And plus, I had to stop exercising. I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't done jujitsu. I haven't done anything.
Endurance is garbage.
They're like, yeah, sure, no problem. We'll go on an easy hike.
Yeah.
So my dad just starts skimming through shit, and he's like, oh, there's this hike over here called Cathedral Rock. I'm like, okay. Man, first off, we didn't even start on the fucking trail.
No.
We went through...
First, we couldn't find a spot.
We couldn't find a spot. But then we went to...
Like picnic.
Yes, area. We went to a picnic area. We thought we were going on the trail, but then my dad wanted to excavate through the side to a different way on how to get to the trail, and the fucking trail wasn't even there yet. It was, we had to go through... First of all, what was that like?
Because you're listening to this, I know you're watching it because I'm putting the hike in the background.
Oh yeah.
So you will have seen
the B-roll. Yes.
The fucking forest.
Yes.
We went through
to hike. Yeah.
We had to cut through like this weird forest tree line.
Yes.
And then hike over a bunch of felled trees because it was like some type of burn area, like controlled burn area.
So it was burnt out.
So
chopped
Lynn's
up.
Like,
I'm doing this all with one
guys,
arm.
Take it easy on me.
Yeah.
we're bushwhacking. we're climbing over tree stumps and shit.
Huge tree stumps that I would have to like roll myself over because I couldn't.
Into an incline.
Yes.
And then over where you would almost have to like use both hands.
Yes.
And Lynn's like, you gotta be fucking.
Yes,
kidding.
I was fucking livid. This was the first 20 minutes in, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
He was ready to be.
I can't even go through this because I can't move my arm.
Right.
And with my right arm, I'm trying to find balance at the same time while going at a 90-degree incline.
Yes.
So then we finally start the trail after 30 minutes of just bullshit. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fucking suck it up. Let's go.
That was just the beginning.
As we're going up this trail, man, it's beautiful because
Gorgeous.
The information when you type in Cathedral Rock hike trail, it says that it's engulfed in flowers.
Yes.
Which now I see.
Beautiful.
Because there was flowers everywhere. There was a dope picture that we'll upload it on Instagram and stuff like that. But there was a dope picture I took, and it was D walking, and there was I'm gonna show it to D right now so you can see what I'm talking about. Like a long bed of flowers almost.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. I don't even remember that.
It was a long walkway. That
was when we first started up the trail.
You start going up the fucking. You start going up the trail, and it was. I was like, I didn't realize that these weren't just grass.
Right.
Like stems.
Right.
They were flowers because we were going up there, and I've seen bees up close.
Yeah.
Bunches of bees. I've never seen bumblebees.
Yes.
Like huge, thick.
These motherfuckers sounded like fucking Apache helicopters.
Yeah. It's just yeah, we'd fly past you, be like, whoa, shit. I thought someone. I walk past my brother. My brother hears one fly by, and he goes, contact, contact, contact. And starts running around the corners and stuff because these bees were so big. And I remember, as we're going up, before we got past the valley to go up towards where the peak was, there's just these bees. And as you're going up, these stones start turning into steps.
Yes.
And it was like walking up on a Stairmaster where the steps were so thick, you would have to hoof yourself up. And I'm still doing this with one arm, in a fucking walking stick. And I stop. My brother and my dad are still Billy Goating their way up.
No, fuck that. Notch had 2 fucking dogs, and you would have thought this man was fucking 30 years old, younger than us.
He had both the shepherds.
Outpaced all 3 of us.
While making sure the dogs stayed on a narrow trail that would... So we'll get to the narrowness of the trail on the way up. But the beauty of this trail is that as you're going up, I got to a point, and this is something I will remember for probably the rest of my life. I'm sitting there trying to catch my breath. Still, like, my shoulders fucking throbbing. We've gotten to the point where the elevation's gotten so high where it's getting harder to breathe.
Yes.
And we're already past the Mary Jane Fall point of 7,000 feet. So we're already having a hard time breathing. The trail has gotten super fucking narrow to where only one person can walk straight.
Yeah.
You can't walk.
You slip.
You can't walk
down the side.
You can't walk tangent.
Right.
And my dad is still getting the dogs.
2 dogs.
Huge dogs, mind you.
Big
German
dogs.
shepherds.
You'll see them in the video.
Moving in between the trails like it's nothing. And I sat down. I was waiting for D to come up behind while my brother was ahead catching up with my dad. And I sit down and I see a bee fly by. And normally your instinct is to panic. Like, oh shit, fuck, don't touch me, it's a bee.
Yeah.
I sat down and I'm like, you know what? This bee's not going to bother me.
Yeah.
So I sit down. I see it fly next to what I thought was just stems of grass, and didn't realize that there's tiny, tiny little flowers on these things. I watched the bee land on the thing and stick its stem in there and start pollinating.
Yes.
And I was like just zoning out and I don't think I've ever seen a bee pollinate before.
Right.
Because we don't have them down here in town.
Right.
In the valleys. You just don't. There's nothing for them to really pollinate.
Right.
And so I'm watching this thing pollinate and I'm seeing it like it's what is it, thoracis or whatever? Whatever that its bud is pretty much.
Whatever.
Yeah. I'm seeing it like pulse to pollinate the thing, and then it shakes its body, flies next to me, hovers for a second, and then just takes off.
Right.
And then D walks up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, he goes, "What are you doing? You good?" And I'm like, "Nature."
Yeah. He's like, I saw a bee pollinate a flower. I was like, yeah, that's what they do. He goes, no, I saw it.
I saw it.
But that was the epic thing about going on these hikes. This particular hike was almost spiritual. All the fucking colors were so vibrant. Everything was just like it's hard to explain because it was like we just went into this trance where we were walking, we weren't tired, we could barely breathe, but it was like, don't stop, keep going, make it to the top. And it was like, we take a break, get up, keep walking. We're jumping over, like I said, we're jumping over fallen trees because like Lynn said, at one point the trail got so thin, two trees had fallen over, so you're having to like scoot down the hill, go around the tree, climb back up the hill, and then duck under another tree.
I forgot about that one. It's like I couldn't duck down and I couldn't go over, so I had to like hike at different angles to go around to get to it. And you're still seeing people come and go up into this spot, but as we get steeper and steeper up, we keep telling ourselves we're gonna go back. Okay, we're gonna go back. Even my dad
had like what, 3 stopping points?
There were 3 stopping points. We're like, this is too. We're too close. We're too close. We're at a stopping point, and then we ran into this lady. This fucking lady tells my dad and me, we're like, hey, so we know that there's a beautiful view at the top. How much farther to the top? And she's like, well, there's 2 views. You have another switchback, and there's this path.
Right.
Where you have to cross snow.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I don't know how to explain it until you guys see the video in itself, so I hope you guys watch the whole video all the way through.
Please do.
As you're hiking up straight, we have to take a turn to the right just a straight
like
hard right.
It cuts directly across.
It cuts directly across the face of the mountain to keep going higher up. Well, that cut across is embedded by snow and ice.
Yes.
And you can tell that it's not supposed to be really a trail.
Yeah.
It's people made it in a
just
foot
by
trail.
walking on it.
So
yeah.
you're walking and your feet have no traction.
None.
You're constantly sliding. And we had walking sticks, but it's like I had to unsheath my bad arm to stab a stick in the ground to make my way across. So before we get to that trail, we see a lady cross like it's nothing. She's like, yeah, if you hike fast, you'll be up there in 20 minutes. If, or no, 20 minutes. 30 minutes if you're a slow hiker.
Oh, no.
And we get 30 minutes up, and we're barely halfway. And my dad looks at us, and he goes, I don't know what the fuck that lady was talking about. I don't know where the fuck she thought 30 minutes was this trail.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, not even close.
We
didn't
dying.
We got 90% done with the whole thing.
Yes.
Because there was still a
Probably
higher peak.
2 hours we could have got
Another
to the
2
peak.
hours to the peak. So mind you, this hike in itself took us... We started at 10. We got up there by 2.
Yep.
So it took us 4 hours to get up there, and then 2 hours to get back down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3.5 hours to get up there, 2 hours to get back down. Because I remember when we started at 10, we got up there around 2:17. I remember that because I remember my brother saying on the way back down, it's 2:17. We got back to the camping site around 3:45.
Yes, that's fair.
So
about an hour and some change to get down.
We could have gone for another hour and a half to get to the peak of it,
But we
ran out. You ran out of.
resources.
Yeah, well, you ran out of water.
I was out of water.
Yeah, you ran out of water. I went through all the food that I had.
no food.
I had pretty much no water left. My brother had no water. My dad had no water.
And the dogs were smoked.
And the dogs were smoked. They were tired enough to where they just had to keep sitting down.
Right.
So
and we just looked at each other and we're like, next time.
Yeah. My dad's like, next time we're bringing sandwiches, picnic table. I'm like, pfft.
Bro, we're gonna need to eat like lunch halfway up because we were moving exceptionally fast.
Yes.
By no means were we going slow, and you'll see it in the video. It felt like I was telling Lynn, I'm like, bro, we've been going for like maybe 45 minutes, and we're hauling ass.
Yeah, we were.
But it felt like this mountain was just so fucking big. Every time we look back, it's like I can't even see where we came from.
No, I could barely see at some point because obviously you could see over the canyon's called it's Kyle Canyon.
Yeah.
So most views you can see portions of the canyon.
Yeah.
The purpose in this view is you can see the entire canyon, the entire valley.
Amazing.
So when you get up there, it's like I could see where the cars were, but man, they look like specks.
They were tiny.
Yes.
You know, and it was just the water from the snow was running off down the path, and it smelled so fresh.
Oh yeah, no,
so
the air,
cold.
the air was phenomenal.
Everything. It was just it was almost like you were just becoming Aang the Avatar. You were just bonding with nature, and you need those moments because it's almost like it revitalizes your batteries. It's like, okay, I can go another however long till I can come back out here. Like Lynn said, I will move heaven and earth to go hiking because it's just, even my girl was like, she was like, you love this. Like you need to go. I was like, I need to go. I just need to do it. And I'm glad I did. And it was one of those things where, like Lynn said, you don't forget. It's one of those things where I can be like, yo, remember when we went up that, the cathedral, whatever?
Cathedral Rock.
You know what I mean? And that's a story I can share. And it's like, yo, yeah, dude, remember this, and that.
You know what benefits this too is because obviously you have Android just the same way as I do.
Yeah.
You go through Google Photos, you can obviously create individual albums.
Yes.
Anytime we do a big hike, I pocket it into a separate album.
Yeah.
So the hike that we did last year, which was still a fucking fun hike, it was still good.
It was gorgeous.
It was called. Give me a second. I apologize. It was called Bristol Cone Trail.
Yes.
So it'll be the same thing with this one. I'm gonna collab and make it into an album.
Yes.
So then I know that this will always be saved and documented, and I can always look at it down the road.
And I'm like I told y'all, I'm posting this on YouTube because it was just I was recording the whole time. Yes, there's some shakiness. Get over it. I'm not perfect, and we don't have a bunch of money for a gimbal.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to get some really good still shots of just like the clouds looked fake. Mm-hmm. As they came over the
you notice
the
that as you go to the mountain, you notice that as you go through hikes,
it looked like a green screen.
The camera doesn't do it. The camera doesn't do it.
No justice because these trees are like reaching up into the sky, and just like when we went to Bristol Cone,
mm-hmm.
how it looked like the tree was kind of like falling over.
Yeah,
not the same effect because the clouds were moving slower, but it was just like they looked so damn fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like you could just jump in the air and just lay on top of one and ride it down.
Right.
The looking up the face of the mountain, and it's just like, bro, I feel so small right now looking up this mountain. And then Notch goes, oh, yeah, look, there's a waterfall. And off into the distance, there's a teeny, tiny little waterfall. I'm like, that's probably much bigger if we would have trekked over there.
Well, that waterfall in itself was feeding through underwater, because you recorded it too.
Yes.
That waterfall itself, you could see that there was a riverbed. You could hear the water. But you couldn't see where it was coming from.
Yes.
And then when you finally saw where it was coming from, you could see that it was actually going underground.
Yes.
And
it was
popping
like
back up on the
under
surface.
the snow.
Yes.
And then like kind of drilling its way through the snow, which is
crazy.
Nature's
crazy
fucking
how,
awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy how nature works like
nature,
that.
you crazy.
But definitely 10 out of 10. But I would like to hit it again when I'm obviously my conditioning is better.
Peak performance.
And yes, when my body's recovered, 100%. I'd say, because even my dad was saying, he wants to go hiking back again in like August.
And to be honest, y'all, if you're a big person out there, don't let nobody tell you can't do this shit. I am 300 pounds. I kept up.
You did fine. Yeah.
Lynn had a busted fucking shoulder. Yep. He kept up. It wasn't ever one of those, he's holding us back.
It's a mental thing, and I had to keep telling myself, it's like there was never a point where my body was like, I wasn't physically prepared for it. It was my own mental will to be like, I have to keep going.
I got to get to the top.
I have to get to the top. I don't have a choice. I can be tired later.
And it was fucking worth it.
Yeah, because once we got back down, man, those brats my dad made with the watermelon and the chips, man, that meal, I could have sat there for hours.
Bro, I could have ate that meal. I could have relived that moment for days. It felt so good because your feet are throbbing. My knees hurt. Lynn had his own little set of issues.
I fucking fell too. Yeah. I fucking fell too, and sure enough, my reflex to put my arm out on my bad side. I didn't have my sling on in the beginning, and I ended up putting it on towards the end.
Yes.
Because I was trying to pass through the snow, I think it was, or just a normal trail.
Something.
I was walking, and eventually...
Did you jump over a tree?
No. When you start... Because we were doing it, I fell when I was coming back downhill.
Yeah, when we were going down.
You get so tired, your form starts to decay as you're walking. And what was happening is that my form started going to shit because I was fatigued. Mm-hmm. And I would take steps, and I wouldn't catch myself. Like a rock would come underneath my foot.
You just kind of let it happen.
And I would slip like you were like falling on fucking ice.
Yes.
And I went to go brace out with my left arm. And I remember because I fell, I looked at everybody, and then I did like
you did some justice pose.
Yeah, I did like a justice pose by crossing my arms and just staring at my brother. My brother's like, Are you okay? Are you okay? Did you fall? I was like, yep, planned it. And I popped up, and I was like, oh my God.
Because we all look back, we're like, what the fuck just happened? And Lynn was like, I fell. It's okay. And then we look at him. He's like, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. I had to sling my arm up. You know, thankfully, he helped on the way up. He held my bag for a little bit, which helped out a lot. On the way back down, my brother held my bag because I brought a backpack. And yes, it was dumb because I have obviously a giant surgery scar on my left shoulder.
You used both shoulders,
both
straps.
I had to. It's just I hoofed it up. Even some guy walked past me, and I didn't realize how dumb it was for me to take on this hike. I apologized when we were passing a couple saying, excuse us. Yes. And the guy goes, no, excuse me. He goes, you're out here fucking hiking with one arm like a savage.
Yeah, Lynn got his props. Yeah. He got his fucking props.
He goes, that's fucking crazy. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if it's crazy or dumb, but yeah, but.
Probably a little bit of both.
Good stuff, man.
But yeah, just to sum this up, if you have a chance, go out and not even that whole, go touch grass. No, climb a mountain. Go travel outside of your city or your state. Go. You don't have to climb like we did. What 9,000 some odd feet?
It was 9,000. Oh boy, I think it was 9,200,
something like that.
Square foot.
Go to Gunlock Canyon. You know that's a very smooth hike. There's just go outside and like bond with nature and like see how it rejuvenates your mental and your physical. Because we were built to bond with nature. We were built to go outside and experience everything going on around us. Like Lynn said, he had a whole fucking National Geographic Discovery Channel moment watching a bee pollinate a flower. And my mind was blown just by seeing all these beautiful colors and shapes and seeing the way nature just finds a way. You know what I mean? It's epic. So if you get a chance, watch our, both part 1, part 2. You'll see the whole video. Lynn's going to post some stuff on our Instagram. We'll try and do some stuff with TikTok if we can finagle it, but that's all I got. Lynn, you got anything else?
No, sir. I'm good to go. Reality's kicking back in.
Yay!
All that fun stuff.
Time to go back to the real world.
Yep.
Like, share, subscribe. Social media links, blah blah blah. Go check it all out. We love your faces. I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
Project Airwaves signing out. We will see you in the next one. So long.
Bye.